day, dog turned up a snowshoe rabbit.
Okay.
And the parts of his nature that were deeper than he.
Werewolf thing.
Back into the wombs of time.
The what? Okay. Is that Oz? I'm assuming.
Ring for Ozwatch.
Xander.
Right. Cool. An episode dealing with the logistics, maybe.
Seems to soothe the savage beast.
Have we not seen people break out of this cage? But
I can handle the odds, full Monty. I mean, not handle, like,
we know what you mean.
Okay, well, it's not for you. It's for me, because I'm still getting used to half a Monty.
Oh, good. You and Oz? Which half?
Wouldn't you like to know?
Don't. Is that jealousy? Is that... Stop, man. God, it's just this possession, isn't it? Because I know what people are going to say. They're going to be like, no, he's just protecting. That's not how he said it, though. There was far too much jealousy in there. There was far too much covetousness. And I get it, he's young, he's a kid. I mean, it's something that bears more talking about, I think. I think, you know, young guys are raised a certain way. You are raised on certain media. I've talked about this in videos before, maybe not Buffy, I'm not sure, but while on the surface it gets normalised and normalised in society. I'm talking, you know, to take an example, you think of rom-coms. Your typical rom-com, generally the formula is, okay, man, woman, there's some meet cute moment, whatever, maybe she rejects him. Quite often that is the case, right? And he has to like fight for her affection. It's kind of funny. He does stuff maybe that, you know, you look at some old rom-coms that today would be like, whoa, that's creepy, don't do that, don't just turn up at their door, do you know what I mean? But unfortunately there's now a plethora of media that if you watch that kind of genre and just generally, you know, any romance type thing, there are some problematic things in there, and like I'm speaking for myself too. I think there was stuff that I had to learn my way out of because you as a guy start to see things as, oh no, that's just romantic, where actually some, like, there's a fine line between romance and creepy too much. And so sorry, you know, look, take this away from Xander for a moment, because I know people do sometimes get a little bit iffy because I'm ragging on a kid, right? Fair enough, because it's not ultimately necessarily his fault. It is this pervasion of a certain type of way to be as a man that is pressed to you in media, you know, whether it's film, TV, whether it's books, whether it is just, you know, things that other people have picked up from film, TV, media, whatever it might be, society, magazines, you know, beauty standards, all this stuff, and then you've learnt it from that person because that's what they think because of all that stuff too, right? And it's just this domino effect of everyone. Anyway, point being, Xander, I think, sees all of these women in his life as people he needs to protect, which, again, it's difficult because that's not necessarily, like, you should also have that in you. It would be remiss of me to not talk about how people of different genders are perceived differently and some people are in more danger than others, right? Absolutely. But again, there's a fine line, right? You can't be so possessive over that. I mean, look, and by the way, this is kind of foreshadowing maybe or preemptive on my part. And it's just because I know who Xander is and what he's done in the past too. Because right now, this isn't a problem. The way that he just said, you know, what he said, it made me feel like he was coming from a certain way. And I think he is. But right now, it's not a problem. It could be though, right? If later down the line it manifests itself in a way that is possessive to the point that it's impacting Willow negatively, like Xander's possessiveness and this possessiveness repackaged as protectiveness, then it's an issue. And again, this stuff like it's a fine line. But I think, you know, when you're talking about, okay, Willow, Oz, girl and a boy, they have a romantic partnership. It's not that serious. Xander, back off. Do you know what I mean? That's not your purview. Be a friend, sure, but it's not your place to be coming in and being like, excuse me, how much have you seen? There was a little bit of judgment there. Don't do that. You can't let it go over that line, right? And you've got to always be looking at the context as to when you should be doing that and when you shouldn't, right? When you should be looking to protect and when you shouldn't. When it's appropriate to do that and when you shouldn't. So sorry, I do think I'm right in the way that he meant it and the way that he was, but ultimately what he just did wasn't a problem, but it could become a problem, which is why it's a problem in a way right now, because it could lead to more bad stuff. Do you know what I mean? That's what I'm getting at, right? You know, I think some people, you know, hear this stuff and they're like, oh, you're just picking it apart needlessly, blah, blah, blah. It's not that deep. And it's like, no, it's not that deep right now, but it is that deep, and it could get to that point where it is a bigger problem, a deeper problem later down the line. And to avoid that stuff, right, you know, and when you're looking at life and humanity and humans, it's like, okay, what are the problems that keep, you know, happening? To avoid that stuff, you got to start it at the root cause, which is this stuff, right? This is where you get it. Because if you can get it at this point, it doesn't go to a place that becomes unhealthy and starts impacting people later down the line. That's the point. That's the point. So I get it. It's not a problem right now, but it could be. And we'll see, I suppose, as to whether it does.
Tomorrow night, the total full moon, that's when he's a real wolfer.
Oh, wow. So we're not even like full moon yet.
Oh, Bake, you can count on me. Got my coffee.
Hey, do you know what? You're back on me, Xander. Fair play to you. Yeah, wow, sorry. Do you know, I glossed over the fact that they have just completely changed the the costume. Unless this is, I guess, not the full moon version of him, but honestly, I preferred the old one. I liked it.
Bet you and Scott have been up there kicking the gear shift.
Only been on a few dates.
But you like him.
Yeah, see, this is great. Already. I mean, Faith kind of almost taken over Willow in a certain respect to Buffy. But I think this is good. I'm not saying that Willow should be replaced, but this is good that Buffy has someone of like mind. I was saying it last episode, but someone like Faith, who is a Slayer, has a lot of shared experiences, if not obviously the exact same, can be a boon, a friend in this very trying time for Buffy. I really like that.
But he is nice and he's funny.
And safe.
Quite a muffin.
Compared to Angel, right?
But my most favorite thing so far
Go on.
doesn't seem to be any kind of hell beast.
That's a positive.
All men are beasts.
Okay, I was hoping to not get that cynical till I was 40.
It's not cynical. I mean, it's realistic. Every guy has beast in him. And I don't care how sensitive they act. They're all still just in it for the chase.
But this is the thing. That's not necessarily something that's inherently wrong with men. People will kind of say that. Men will say that. They'll be like, oh, it's part of my nature. I gotta chase. You know what I mean? It's just what we do. It's, we got a mate and all this weird stuff, right? It's not. Behaviors are strong, societal inclinations, conditioning is strong. We're only wired that way because we're taught that way. It's not necessarily a problem in men because there are plenty of men that live their life and they do understand consent and the importance of respect, and who don't treat women like an object, like a thing to be chased, or a breeding cow, right? Which is absolutely something that a certain subsection of men do think, and it's horrible. That is a problem. Right? I'm not saying this is the thing. I think, and look, this is, back in the 90s, whatever. I completely get, I'm just commenting on it from a place of, obviously 2024 and where we're at now. And sure, you're obviously going to get some guys who have a higher libido, who are going to be more inclined to want to do that kind of thing. I mean, you can put a lot of the unhealthiness of it down to, like I say, this objectification of women and misogynistic tendencies in our society. Take that out of the situation. We need to fix that level of conditioning, that level of thinking, and actually, even if we do have that element of chase in our society, in dating culture, whatever it might be, it'll be a lot healthier because you start to have a lot more men across the board treating women as people. You have scenarios where it's perfectly fine if a guy goes up to someone. If the person that you go up to says no, take the no and leave. And right now, this is a very simple example, but quite often you'll get the guy pressing. He won't listen to that. He'll stick around. He'll keep trying. It feeds into what I was saying before, the rom-com thing of like, I'm just being romantic. I'm just showing you that I care. I'm just showing you that I'm into you. And that's problematic, right? I can understand how there is obviously this image now, or this thinking now of all men are bad. I get it. And I don't begrudge women for that at all, right? We've recently had, obviously, the man versus bear thing. And it's insane to me, the amount of men that came out and were like, oh, well, obviously you choose a man, it's a bear. And it's like, shut up. That's not the point. It's not the point. And, when women say it's not all men, but they have to assume that it's all men, completely valid, right? If you have, I've said this before, I'm repeating myself, I apologise, but if you actually have friends that are women, 9 times out of 10 they have a story. They do. I mean, I'm hedging there, 10 times out of 10 usually, if I'm honest. Chances are very high they have a story. They have to live their lives that way, right? Sorry, my comment here to Faith isn't saying that there's not an issue. Just that the issue isn't inherent in men, it's taught behaviour that goes back generations. We have people like Andrew Tate, we have people like Elon Musk who don't know what they're talking about, who just keep pushing forward this idea of gender is a binary, or being a man is one thing, and if you're not that, you're not a man, and all these unhealthy things that are contributing to this perpetuation that Faith is kind of talking about here. What is it then? Smash that, mate. Get in. Alright, let's go.
I don't think that's true. That every guy's in it only for the chase.
Nice.
I know, it is an awful generalization.
Awful generalization. Fair play.
That's what I stopped you for, basically. Hey. Since the best jazz is improvisational, we'd be going off in all directions, banging into floats.
He's just being Oz.
Yes, he is.
Pretty much full time.
I hope you're getting paid for that, mate.
I'm sure Scott does that kind of stuff for you too, Buffy.
Oh, well, we're not up to flowers.
You can be.
Up to flowers? Did I miss flowers?
No.
Platt, the school counselor? Platt creeps me out. I would totally quit going.
Damn. Another one.
I'll see you.
Yeah, interesting. Very much. Hello. Alright. Very much a gender roles theme going on.
No need to panic.
Just a thought. Poker, not your game.
Bear in mind,
Sorry.
a male student was found in the woods, terribly mauled. Much as I hate to think it.
No, he was being watched.
Me.
He was being watched.
The room was secured,
Uh-huh.
and the window unbreakable and
Oh no.
open.
Oh, God.
That's a small gap though, mate.
I rest my eyes now and then. That's all.
How long?
How long exactly did you rest your eyes?
Sorry, but like that's a very polite werewolf if they just slightly opened that window and then closed it. Do you know what I mean? Because that window is not broken or like it's not very wide.
When I woke up! You can put it that way if you want to, Mr. Technical.
Okay, you know how you messed up though, yes, mate.
Oh, God.
We don't know yet, we don't know. Come on. I'm gonna call right now. I don't think it was Oz. Someone else in it. And we've had new people in oh god, it's the creep in it. Okay,
2
let's
o'clock. Miss Summers.
go. Uh-huh.
Buffy Summers reporting for sanity.
Look,
Wow, really dramatic. Quite like him.
I don't want to be friends here.
Nice.
We're not gonna be friends.
Alright.
You have friends already. I hope.
Okay.
I mean, friends are a good thing.
Okay, I'm sensing he's a nice guy, and the other girl don't like him because he's actually trying to help her. I quite like my snap decision that I said I liked him just based on the dramatic. That could go well for me.
Agree with you. Tell you what you want to hear. It's not what you need right now. What you need is a trained, not too crazy professional who
Smashed it, mate.
honest opinion.
Yes. Oh, hello. What's that?
Have seen.
Is it Mosby? I love it. Sweet Life, right?
Any person who claims to be totally sane is either lying or not very bright.
Fair.
One has problems. Everybody has demons, right?
Don't call me out, mate. What you do? Come on. This isn't my session.
Demons can be fought. People can change. You can change.
I love this guy.
Your turn.
Don't turn out to be, do you know, something. That would be brilliant. Also, like, honestly.
Bore me.
I'm really over it. I'm moving on, but I'm even dating someone new.
All good things.
Uh-huh.
Still, you're bringing me in at the end of the movie.
Exactly. Let's go back. Get me some popcorn. Do you know what I mean?
Dating someone. It ended badly.
Tell me more about this guy, the bad ending guy.
Nice. Yeah, let's actually talk about stuff, mate. Get some help.
I loved him, and then he...
Changed.
Yeah.
He got mean,
Yes.
and you didn't stop loving him.
Yeah.
Look, lots of people lose themselves in love. It's no shame.
No, you can't control that. And that's the thing, you know, your roots and how you felt. You know, if you care about someone, if you love someone, you put roots deep. You can't just take them out again if their behavior changes. You can't. It's not that easy. You can't just turn that off. You know, it's easy to blame yourself for not getting out when it got bad, but you're just human.
Sooner or later, you have to get back to yourself.
Yeah, I love this guy.
If you can't, love becomes your master, and you're just its dog.
Never heard it put like that. That's really poignant, yeah. Because, I mean, yeah, love is so... It can be so good, but I think in those situations, you know, that you know, that he just talked about, that I just talked about, it doesn't help you. It keeps you in a place that maybe isn't healthy for you, that you need to get out of, and you can't let it always control you. Not in that kind of context. You gotta... Yeah, it's hard.
Oz ate someone last night.
You did not.
Good, Willow. We don't know.
I have harmless wolf fun. Is it Oz's fault that, you know, side effect, people get cut to ribbons and...
Stop talking about it, dude.
I'm not helping, am I?
Perhaps it's something else entirely.
Yeah.
But what about us?
Yeah, tonight, right?
Some research materials at home I need to look at.
Bring me here.
Well, we could ask Faith to watch over him.
Oh, you're having a Slayer watch me?
Chill.
You know that thing where you bail in the middle of an upsetting conversation? I have to do that. It's kind of dramatic, I know, but
I approve.
it's a necessary guy thing.
Just a thing. Yeah, this is tough on him. I like that we've come back to this.
Get away from the cage. Get away from me.
This isn't personal, Willow. He's just going through something, mate. Hello, hello, hello. Show me. Oh God. Do you know what? I completely forgotten. I'm sorry. There was a lot happening, okay? How do you even react if you're Buffy? Sorry, yeah, I just completely forgot. Should have been my first guess, really, shouldn't it? Again! Are we okay? Do you know what, mate? For the fact that you could have frozen there, you did really well. Okay, this looks bad. Okay.
Here, hold this.
Why are you sneaking up on people in morgues, dude? No, I approve this time. Don't ask me why.
Willow, how can you stand it?
Yeah, well, I mean, this guy is pretty barf-worthy. Can't we be elsewhere?
She is very chill. Good on her.
I'm not sure. I mean, there are a lot of incised wounds, but...
Yeah, do you know what? Something I didn't mention last episode, but obviously Willow and all her stuff and, you know, the witchcraft and obviously over summer, and we haven't seen any of that. And it just does seem like, to a certain extent, she is a different person in some ways. I mean, even this, right? The Willow that I kind of knew would have been a little bit like, okay, I can do this. Do you know what I mean? And she's just so clinical, professional, almost, got her stuff. She's just going on about it and she's just getting on with it, right? I don't know. I was kind of waiting to see how that would go because I think I had this thought at the beginning of the season when it became apparent where she was right now, you know, and what she's been doing and that she's been going through changes. You know, when she was talking to Buffy about, okay, I've gone through this, 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 and this. I was like, oh, God, okay. Shame we didn't see that. It might not matter, right? I think, you know, how the show handles it and what we see from her as we go on, it might not matter, absolutely. But yeah, I don't know, there's an element of this that I'm like, you feel like a different person, Willow. You know, we were seeing seeds of it, sure, right, last season, and you know, season 1 and season 2 built up, you know, this idea of Willow taking more responsibility, being more of a leader, taking charge when she needed to, had to, right? We were seeing that, we were seeing the seeds for this. But I don't know, I feel like skipped a lot of the important bit of the transition of that to this. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, we'll see how that goes. We'll see if that takes in my head. I'm not sure yet. I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Great, so we got everything we need?
Yep, that's it.
Okay.
Okay, a little too much excitement for the Wilster here.
Why do things happen after I say things? Come on, can we just... Oh. You're prepped, huh? Wow, you're not going to tell anyone? I wonder? Do you know what I mean? Maybe this is going to be okay. Are we back in the... Yeah, he's very growly, isn't he? He's not himself. Is he just hungry or... Right. Oh, missed opportunity, man. Put some angel cheeks, do you know what I mean? If it had landed like butt first. Dude, come on. I'm just saying, give the people what they want and comedy. You can't lose.
I'm sorry. I guess I didn't hear you.
Hey, at least you're not falling asleep, though. You need to tell people that Angel's back, mate. Especially if only for the reason that it's going to help Oz. Because he's going through something right now. What's that there, Giles? Is that coffee, mate? What were you reading? Come on, Gilesy boy. He has been the rock throughout all this, you know. He's been the best throughout this whole kind of thread of story, transition from season 2 to season 3. I mean, I've mentioned it, right, as we've gone on, and I've seen people talking in comments about him, and he's been the one person that I think hasn't done anything, you know, badly, inappropriately. He's always been the one trying to actually help people and having the right responses. I love this man. I love him so much. You don't understand. You know, I loved him before, but everything that I've seen of him, I just... and, you know, look, he's an older person, so it does make sense too. But yeah, what a rock for the show.
What if I told you that...
You should.
I had a dream about Angel?
Did you?
Must have been some dream. I didn't think you knew what a card index was for.
Hey.
I dreamt that he came back.
After Jenny was killed, I had dreams that she was still alive. That
Instantly reaching out with his own experience. Like, you're not crazy, I had this too, you're fine, you know.
Do you believe it was a prophecy?
It made me wonder.
I would have a lot of issues with Buffy if she doesn't tell the gang before the end of the episode.
Angel somehow found his way back to Sunnydale. What would he be like?
Really can't say.
Yeah. I mean, he's been to hell.
From what is known about that dimension,
Not fun.
a world of brutal torment.
Yeah.
Time moves quite differently there. So.
Right, so he might have been there for a while. Yeah. Damn, God.
He would have been down there for hundreds of years
Yeah, damn.
of torture.
It takes someone of extraordinary
Mm.
will and character to survive that and retain any semblance of self.
Right.
Most likely he'd be a monster.
A lost cause.
Well, not necessarily. Maybe, yeah.
In my experience, there are two types of monster. The first can be redeemed, or more importantly, wants to be redeemed.
Yeah.
And the second type?
Given up.
Second is void of humanity.
Done.
Cannot respond to reason or love.
I mean, this puts us in an interesting position with Angel, for now at least.
This time it's not your boyfriend who's the cold-blooded.
Everything all right?
Buffy, you need to say for his sake.
Was it werewolf?
Oh, I guess she's waiting to see. Well, she has to be honest.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, Jalsy boy, he's on it, I think.
I can't back you on that much.
Is that just jelly?
But there's fruit in it.
Uh-huh. Who are these guys? I guess they're his friends, right?
Oh, Mr. Platt, you have insomnia. I'll make you start a dream journal.
Oh, I see. So he's actually helping you, you just...
I kind of liked him.
Me too.
Really? I guess he's kind of funny and stuff. Sometimes I just don't like the things he says.
Like what?
I hope you realize I don't actually know these people. I thought you would like me better if I had friends. So
Fair.
I wanted to tell you that you look great today.
Oh.
And now I want to raise that to amazing because you didn't sleep well.
Oh, he's so sweet. Don't be weird! Please.
Check out Scotty liking the manic depressive chick.
Okay, buddy. You need to tell Peter. Okay, she will, I'm sure. I'm just... I get it as well. Like, she's taking her time. This is big for her. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's also maybe some guilt playing on in Buffy of this, like, I did this to him. You know, she chose to send him there. And this is the result of that. He lost himself. She probably feels a lot of guilt. And bringing other people in to see him is being exposed to that. Right. I don't think anyone would judge her for it, but to her mind, them seeing that and being like, look what Buffy did, that's what she's going to be thinking. They're all going to be thinking, look what I did. Look what I did to him. Look how awful this is. Do you know what I mean? There's probably guilt tied up in this, as well as obviously all the personal stuff too, when she sees him.
Do you understand me?
Maybe he's also hurt by her if he does retain anything. I think that would be fair. There's a lot of complicated emotions, I think, going on between them, considering what happened, which it'd be lovely to dive into. I think it will. I think the show will. He's going to be a snarly boy, I think, yep. I do quite like that, despite everything, he maintained his hair routine. That's commitment.
Come on, just for a minute.
I can't. I have to meet a friend.
Are these guys dying? Did Angel get out? Is Angel, do you know what I mean? This is a trigger warning for domestic violence and abuse. We're looking at...
What is that?
Go on.
Nothing. Kiss me.
Is she a witch?
Drink it. You know I didn't.
Debbie, what's going on?
Huh? What?
2 o'clock, Buffy Summers, right? Wait,
Oh God.
don't turn around. Okay, and don't.
Is he okay? He's not okay. Oh, come on. Let him turn around. I don't think he can, but...
This whole entire story is probably going to convince you that I'm loony bin material.
Oh, man.
There's nobody else that I can talk to.
Don't... Oh, because she's going to say it all, and then it's going to be harder for her to do it the first time, and then he's dead, and then she's never going to want to say it again because it was hard the first time.
I need help.
Bless you, mate. Well done.
I need to talk to someone.
Oh, look at all that vulnerability on her face.
I'm so scared.
Oh, buddy. Yeah. Who's drunk something?
I'm back.
Oh, God. Come on, man. I don't love that, you know, we had the guy in the morgue that was a white guy, and they, hid his scars, and then you get a full face full of the black guy scarred, mauled. In case anyone, by the way, thinks that I'm being purposefully woke or whatever it might be, this is a thing. Look it up. Typically throughout history with media, TV, film, much more likely to show people of colour on screen who have been mauled, scarred, killed. White people? No, hide that. I didn't just pull that out of my bottom, alright? I just pay attention. That's it.
I was trying to get rid of it.
You were trying to get rid of it?
What is it?
You know how you get.
Oh, he takes it.
Think this has anything to do with how I get?
Oh no. Does he hulk up? What is this?
I am way past that now.
So she's
You see?
getting abused. Okay.
No more. You and your stupid grating voice.
No. This isn't her. This is clearly you, mate. God. Okay. Well.
You're the reason I started the formulas in the first place. To be the man you wanted.
To be the man you wanted. And there we go. I mean, you know, look at this, right? I think directly showing that to be the man everyone wants is poisonous. It just makes you someone else. You're angry, you know, you become this, oh man, I gotta punch things. I gotta keep my woman in line, all this stuff. You know, all of these things that come from that gender identity and the skewing of it that we have had throughout history and even to today. And we're still seeing that today, right? Not helpful. It's harmful, it's hurtful to men, to women, to everybody of any gender. It's harmful to everybody. It just is. All it leads to is violence, aggression, pain for everyone involved, including yourself. Yeah, and that theme of gender coming back into it right at the end here.
Is that something your shrink taught you, Debbie? Well, guess what? Even he's not going to listen to your pathetic ramblings anymore.
Yeah, so that was the thing. He was probably actually helping her and maybe perhaps teaching her things that would get her away from you. You didn't like that. And obviously she has been poisoned by you to think that he wasn't helping her at all, even though he was. Bless her.
All you've got now, Debbie.
No, he's not.
Hear me? I am all you've got.
I mean, this is the thing we had just at the beginning of the episode, this idea of, you know, the therapist talking about, you know, love, and you can't be the dog to it. It can't just control you, because that's what's keeping her here to a certain extent. I mean, look, you know, there's obviously a lot involved in this emotionally and whatever else. I mean, obviously she's scared to leave because he'll hurt her and all that stuff too, right? Obviously. But I think, you know, there was a time where she obviously was with him because she loved him, right? And then he got violent and aggressive and whatever else. And there was probably still some semblance of that side of her that remembered that version of him and knew that, you know, when he wasn't this, he was that probably as well. Which keeps you there, and you gaslight yourself because you're like, it's not his fault, he's going through all of this and that's why he gets angry. It's, you know, and he's obviously gaslighted, manipulated her as well to think that it's her doing the thing and that she needs to do, you know, change her attitude. It's me, you know, because then you get into a cycle of like blaming yourself, and then you're attacking yourself as well as him attacking you as well. Because you think it's you. You think, oh, if I just change, if I change my behavior, if I account for this and this and this, I can make it better. And it's like, no, the problem isn't you, the problem is the other person. And like I say, I think all of that means that that element of love that you still hold for them survives, because you start to not blame the person that is the abuser, you start to blame yourself, etc., which means that that person, that abuser, is still some semblance of that person you loved, and love runs deep. Like I say, you know, if you love someone, the roots of that, you can't just pull them out immediately. You can't. It's not as easy to leave. You should. That's what the therapist guy was talking about, right? Like, you can't be the dog to love, right? You can't let it control you like that. And it is hard, but you gotta find a way to separate yourself from it, because it's keeping you in a position that's hurting you. It's just sad. It's sad and it's harmful, it's hurtful, you know, and we've got to this place because of, you know, obviously, I mean, that line from the guy, this is the man you wanted me to be. Clearly that's rooted in this idea of harmful gender stereotypes and him wanting to be this kind of man that he's clearly not, which is okay, right? We define gender as this or this. Gender is a construct. It's a bunch of things that we've decided. Us as humans, we've made decisions for that. We've made decisions like women wear dresses, men wear trousers, men play football, play rugby, women play hockey and netball, and, you know, women go to the kitchen and cook the food and men go out and work. Men go to war, women stay at home. All of these things, nature didn't decide those things. Humans did. We did. It's a construct made by us. You know, you get a lot of people, you know, talking about, you know, body types and, you know, women are weaker than men and all this stuff. And it's like, I mean, there's a lot packed into that statement anyway, because not necessarily, by the way, but also there is an element of that that is generally true, but only because we raise people certain ways. What do you think will happen if we have someone assigned as a boy at birth and someone assigned as a girl at birth, and you raise them completely differently? What do you have with boys? Feed them, feed them, feed them. They've got to grow up big and strong. They've got to play sports. They've got to be active. They've got to get out. And then you get to the girl. It's like, no, don't eat too much. No, it's unseemly. Got to eat salads. You got to watch your weight. Beauty standards, right? No, don't play sports. No, stay indoors. You can't rough around with the boys. Leave them to it, and you can come in and you can learn etiquette. You can learn to cook and clean and do gentler things. What do you think is going to happen when you have that dynamic physically? You're going to have all of those assigned male at birth growing bigger, stronger, and those assigned female at birth not. It's a fallacy we've created as well. It's a construct. It's all just a construct. We live in a time where more people are thinking about this stuff. That's just where, you know, it's called progressive values, progressive ideas, but it's all it is looking at the world with a critical eye, thinking more. You can be a man and you can wear makeup. You can wear a dress if you want to. It's fine. You go back hundreds of years, you would see attire on men that you would associate more with women nowadays. You go back 100 years and the colour pink wasn't a girl's colour in the way it is more perceived today. You know, these things, colour, paints that you put on your face, makeup, whatever you want to call it, fabric, cloth, these aren't gendered. None of these things are gendered. It's just what we've decided in society. And there are people that, you know, think of that stuff and it's like, no, men only wear this, women only wear this, etc, etc, etc. And it's like, no, you are just subject to the conditioning. I think, you know, the right wing quite often, you know, accuse people of being sheep, and it's like, you just, you know, you're not thinking for yourself, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, it's usually the right wing that are saying this stuff that don't understand that they're the sheep. They're failing to think for themselves. They're failing to critique themselves. They're failing to exercise self-awareness in themselves to figure out why they think certain things, because that's all the rest of us have done. We've just, you know, looked inwards and gone, why do I actually think that though? Is there a reason? No. So what is that? Social conditioning. You know, conditioning throughout the ages, from our parents, from our media, from whatever it is. It's an outdated mindset. It has no place. All it does is limit freedom, emotion, joy. You know, we need to set ourselves free from that. And, you know, and I love the episode for demonstrating that kind of thing. And how bad luck it is. What it leads to. Harm and hate and anger. Bloodshed. The terrorization of this lady here, bless her. No. Yeah, and you're apologetic afterwards. It doesn't matter. You still did the thing. I'm sorry, mate, but you did.
You shouldn't make me mad.
Come on.
You know what happens?
It's not on her. That's on you. You gotta fix that.
Please.
Let go of her. Sorry, classic abuser. But does the thing, apologizes afterwards, and then she, bless her, in all her empathy, forgives him, and then the cycle starts again.
It's okay.
Yeah, bless her.
Which means that he was killed during the day.
Yes!
Well, Buffy, you're off the hook for Angel for now.
We're all glad Oz is off the hook.
Bring the notes?
Yeah. You okay?
Yeah. I'm such a klutz.
Fell down. Hit your eye. Hey, if you want to talk.
Well done, mate. Beautiful. I love Oz.
Thanks again for the notes.
I don't know how much he knows about their dynamic. Maybe he's getting... I mean, dude, are we going to get a werewolf versus Red Hulk fight?
Well, clearly we're looking for a depraved, sadistic animal.
Debbie. Well, victim number 1, Jeff. He was in jazz band with us. They used to horse around.
Yeah, let's talk, eh?
You know what works? Don't get hit.
Okay.
But people are dying here.
Okay, good cop, bad cop. Fair enough.
It's not his fault. I mean, he's not himself when he gets like this. It's me.
It doesn't matter that he's not himself, though, mate.
He just does what he does because he loves me too much.
Mr. Platt and Jeff murdered by an animal?
Pete's not like other guys, is he, Debbie?
Like, bless her. She needs help being pulled out of this because she's in so deep. By the way, like, I obviously don't blame Debbie, by the way. I don't know if I've overtly said that, but let me say it now. She is a person that clearly cares deeply, has a lot of empathy, and she's found herself in this cycle that she can't get out of. And I don't think less of her for it at all. I actually think more of her for it. She's just a really caring person that's found herself snared by a guy that is very unhealthy and not okay, to the point that it crosses the line into violence, which is obviously putting her in danger. And he's manipulating, he's gaslighting her to take the brunt of it. And yeah, I mean, look, we're getting Buffy and Willow coming in and being those people that I think probably going to pull her out of it. I think what's the takeaway from this, right? Because like I say, when you're in the way that Debbie is, it's so hard, almost impossible, if possible at all, to pull yourself out of it. It is possible, and people do, but sometimes it takes years of being pushed and pushed and pushed, and that cycle repeating to show you that it's not getting better. And actually, you change yourself, and that doesn't help, and you change again and it doesn't help. It keeps happening and it doesn't help, and then maybe one day you go, oh, actually it's not me, or things go too far and you're like, I need to run away, I need to go. And that's not good either, because then you've had months, years of this behavior that changes you as a person. It changes you. Yeah, so what is the takeaway? How can you fight that? How can you combat that? And I suppose it's just having better practices in place, better, having people that can identify it and maybe reach out a hand. I mean, you got to be careful. Even then, you can't let people like, what's his face, Red Hulk boy, know, because then they're going to take that out on, they might take that out on Debbie. Right, and then it could go even further. Do you know what I mean? You got to be so delicate, so careful. It's hard. It's tough. It's tough. And if only we always had a Slayer to kind of stand in the way, right? But yeah, I think it is. It's being Oz. It's the, hey, if you want to talk. It's the, okay, I'm concerned. It's the, wow, you're getting a lot of black eyes. It's the, do you know what I mean? It's I talk about it a lot in my videos. It's coming back to community and just being there for people. All of us being better at identifying when that might be happening and supplying, I suppose, what help you can.
I didn't ask for your help.
I mean, if Pete kills you, it'll pretty much be too late.
Debbie, we're running out of time.
Yeah. Come on, Debbie. Okay, well, he's getting out, isn't he? Are we going to get an angel, werewolf, Hulk fight? Okay. Okay.
Look at yourself. Why are you protecting him?
Yeah.
Anybody who really loved you couldn't do this to you.
Sometimes it takes another person coming in and being like, look what's happening. This isn't okay.
If they take him someplace, I could never do that to him.
Yeah.
So are you to live out your grim fairy tale? 2 people are dead.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be next?
What a great episode.
Since when do you touch my girl?
Okay. Well, good luck to you, mate, I guess.
This is kind of a bad time.
It's probably the best time.
I guess you didn't think about that when you put the moves on Debbie.
Hey, not any part of you is asking why he's in a cage.
About this cage?
This is interesting. The thing that I was talking about with Xander at the beginning, that possession, the possessiveness, that I own you, the objectification of women that I was talking about, that I was like, okay, right now it's not an issue in Xander. But it's kind of, the episode is giving you a start and a finish. That idea that I was identifying in Xander is where this starts, right? And with Xander, it might not go anywhere. And I don't think it will. I think ultimately, at heart, he's a good person and he can identify that, right? I think he'll identify eventually that it's not okay if it goes further. Do you know what I mean? I don't think it would get to this place. But it's that thinking that you could see in being, installed, that has been installed in Xander, that is being installed in all young men, and it can get them to this. So that's what I was talking about at the beginning, right? It's like, in Xander right now, that behavior is not a problem, but it could get there. And it's installing that idea, that conditioning into young men. If you're giving that foundation to all young men, you're assuring that there's a certain percentage of them that are gonna take that, run with it, and it's gonna go further till it gets here. And actually that little planting that it did of that idea, subtly in Xander, is really effective. And actually really nice symmetry that you see out almost, like I say, the inception, or the least danger that could possibly pose in a man, perhaps. Because, like I say, it's problematic, but it wasn't It's not necessarily a danger in Xander, but given to someone else, it becomes this. And you can't predict that. And it comes back into the man versus bear thing. It's not about not being all men. It's that people can't tell which men it is. Unfortunately, the statistics are that it could be any of them because they've all had that conditioning. And that is 100% certain when anyone comes into contact with a man, that there's a chance of that, right? A bear, you know where you stand. A man, you don't. And that's the stuff we've got to start changing. This conditioning, seeding that into our young men as ideas that can blossom into this.
Something's gonna happen that you probably won't believe.
Yeah, can you speed it up, Oz, or
you might.
Oh. Anytime now, buddy.
We have to go. I have to find Pete.
Willow, stay with her. Okay, I'll bring her, sure.
I think we broke her.
I think she was broken before this.
Yeah. I mean, this is the thing. Sorry, no, I mean, I agree, you know, like, I agreed with that quickly, but she's not broken. Bless her. She's just been tortured by this guy, by this behavior. She's in this unhealthy cycle. She needs help, but she's not broken for the way that she reacted and felt and responded to the way that he was. She was human. She was normal. She was a good person that listened to her empathy and her emotions. She wasn't broken. She was just full of love and empathy, which is what we all strive for. The height of normalcy. She is not broken. Oh, God. Ouch. Back.
Time's up.
Yeah.
Rules change.
Oh, yeah. That's a cool line. Right, so we are rocking this costume then, okay. I don't know, man. I like the other one. Yeah. Oh, God. Oh. This is a nice payoff. Yes. Just leave him to it. It's going to be fine. God.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Bloody priceless.
Oh, Giles.
You get the wolf. Got him.
Nice. 2 slayers coming in handy, eh?
You're all right. You have to leave. Get out of Sunnydale.
I mean, they both need help. Her first and foremost.
Oh, God.
Oh, come on. No.
Get the gun! Hurry!
Yeah, come on. Don't miss. Well done. Right in the bottom. Nice. Angel? God damn. Chaos. Wow, but he's defending Buffy. So he does... That shows you he retains something, eh? Where you at, mate?
Buffy.
Oh. There's hope. Yeah.
Buffy.
That's hard for her. This thing she put to rest, finally, and now it's come back when she's finally kind of let it go. That's hard in itself to usher that back in, can you? I mean, that's the question, isn't it? Should you? I mean, because, you know, like, if you're thinking about, I suppose, what happened with Angel into Angelus, it became something of an abusive relationship in the end. Something that was torturing Buffy, right? It's not a clean and cut, necessarily, example that we've got in this episode with Debbie and the guy. But I think there are elements of that in, you know, what became of, obviously, Buffy and Angelus' relationship. And Buffy got out of that, came out of that, but she was hurt and scarred and traumatized from it, and she put it to rest, started to heal. And now, despite Angel being Angel and coming back in, there's absolutely got to be that kind of question in Buffy's mind of obviously appreciating that it's Angel and it's fine, but is it good for me to usher him back into my life? Can I usher him back into my life in the same way? Maybe not. And I wouldn't blame Buffy for that. Too much has happened.
I mixed this potion to become super macho.
I've been friends with them both since before we started school.
And you didn't notice anything up?
It's just that you never really know what's going on inside somebody.
Right. I mean, look, you know, we didn't know how close he was. We didn't know how much of interaction he had with them, right? Like, I don't want to just blame him without having all of that information, but it seems weird that he didn't notice anything weird.
And from the depths of the forest, the call still sounded.
Yeah, it's interesting really with obviously everything happening with Angel and how this episode kind of I suppose went. She is off the hook to a certain extent because obviously it's not dependent on her telling them about Angel as to Oz kind of feeling released from, you know, what he's got that anyway, right? Yeah, still she's gonna have to tell him. I don't know, this is she should at least tell Giles. I think Giles is gonna work it out. We had that little look, right? Anyway, sorry, great episode, heavy episode, but really important, and I think really, at least to my mind, well written. Obviously, you know, chime down in the comments, what did you think of it? So hard sometimes to know what people think. I think sometimes I enjoy episodes for certain things, I don't enjoy others for certain things, and then I find out, you know, the general consensus is the opposite of what I thought it would be. So I honestly don't know at this point, which is fun. It's a fun game. Yeah, like I say, I'm not going to rehash what I talked about. I think all of the gender stuff is, I think, told in a way to demonstrate what I was talking about, how unhealthy that can become, how caring and careful we've got to be to each other and to help where perhaps it might be needed. It's difficult, isn't it? Because I know there's absolutely accounts of people trying to help and making it worse. And you know, the thing here that happened in this episode as well of, you know, the gang, Buffy tried to help and Debbie ended up not coming out of it. You know, it's the warning there, I suppose. It's just, God. But like I say, I think these issues should be tackled at the root. It starts with our nurturing of young people, right? And this idea of, you know, what should a man be? You know, this built-in misogyny in society. You know, all of this social conditioning that leads us to scenarios like this, you know, the skewing in relationships based on gender or whatever else it might be, and power dynamics. And because the gender thing is probably inherent in why Debbie certainly felt the way she did. You know, it was her job to nurture, to care, to love correctly, right? Which is unhealthy too, but I think is a lot of what is raised in women. But I think what a beautiful episode to demonstrate all of that. It's all there, right? And we got to do better. We got to call people out, right? You know, I'm talking about on the flip side of that coin, I think men do have a lot of power in society, right? We live in a patriarchal society. And I think if as a guy you see another guy perpetrating, you know, some of these subtle things, talking about women certain ways, whatever it might be, call them out. What are you doing? Don't do that. Don't say that. It's small, but it's the only way we're going to weed it out. No, it's not the only way, but it's one of the ways, right? Yeah. Anyway, I've waxed about the subject long enough, so I'll leave that there. But that was Beauty and the Beasts, indeed. I think perhaps the allegorical message coming out in the title as well. If you enjoyed this video and you're not currently subscribed to my Buffy videos, please do consider doing that down below. Thank you, as always, to those who do support me. Genuinely just thank you for your support. If anyone would like to support me further, there are some links down in the description. I have early access to all my videos, so if you're hankering for the next one, go have a look on my channel page, scroll down to the bottom, and it will just say which ones are available. If you think it's worth it, go for it. If not, don't worry, those will come out eventually on YouTube anyway. Please do consider watching either of these videos right here to keep the hype train rolling. But that's it from me. I hope you have a great week. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you soon.